Berlin, June 6th, 2015. The stadium is full. Lionel Messi lifts the Champions League trophy. This is the 5th time for Barcelona. They won 3 trophies in one season. It's the start of a new dynasty, but it was the end. Since that night, for 11 long and painful years, Barcelona haven't won a trophy again, not one time. In April 2026, they lost against Atletico Madrid. Now the wait is 11 years. These years were full of near misses, financial problems and humiliation. In 2015 this was impossible to imagine. So today we will look at every season, every loss. What happened to Barcelona? Stay with me, this is a long story. To understand the fall, you must understand the peak, the best moment. The 2014-15 season was incredible. Barcelona had the best attack in history. Messi, Suarez and Neymar. World called them MSN. It was the season MSN scored more than 120 goals. In the Champions League, they were unstoppable. No one could stop them. They beat Paris Saint-Germain, Man City, Bayern Munich. In the final in Berlin, they play against Juventus. Barcelona won 3-1. Rakitic scored the first goal. Then Suarez and Neymar scored the other 2. In that moment, Messi was 27 years old. Neymar was only 23, and everyone thought, this team will win everything for the next 5 years. But it was their last night of glory. The 2015-16 started with Barcelona, we are the champions. The team was the same. In the round of 16, they beat Arsenal. Messi was incredible and scored 2 goals. It felt easy, but in quarterfinals they played against Atletico Madrid. Their manager Simeone was a master of ugly football, very defensive. In the first game, Atletico won 2-1. Fernando Torres scored the winning goal. In the second game at Camp Nou, Barcelona needed a goal. They had Messi, Suarez and Neymar, but they could not score. The game ended 0-0. Barcelona, we are gone. Only 1 year after Berlin. People started to ask, is this team vulnerable? Could a defensive team really stop the best players in history? The answer was yes. The 2016-17 season brought a new villain, Juventus. In the first game, at home, the score was 0-0. This was a bad sign. Then, in Turin, Juventus played much better. Dybala scored 2 goals. The final score was 3-0. Barcelona, we are eliminated. It wasn't just the score. Barcelona looked outclassed. Juventus stopped Messi and attacked the midfield. The genius of Iniesta and Xavi was fading. The great generation was getting old, and there was no plan to replace them. The cracks were now visible to everyone in Europe. If the year 2017 was bad, the 2017-18 season was unbelievable. Barcelona played the quarterfinals against Roma. In the first game at the Camp Nou, Barcelona won 4-1. Messi and Suarez scored. Everyone thought, this is easy, already in the next round. The second game in Rome felt like a formality, but it was not a formality. In one of the most shocking games in history, Roma won 3-0. And then, in the 18-17 minute, Manolas scored a header. The final score was 3-0. The total score was 4-4, but Roma went through because of away goals. The football world was stunned. How can a team with Messi and Suarez lose a 4-1 lead? The team was mentally fragile. The great style of Guardiola was gone without a strong defense. Barcelona, we are exposed. You know the story, everyone know the story. In the 2018-19 season, Barcelona looked strong again. Messi were the 31 and they played the best football of his life. In the semi-final, they played against Liverpool. In the first game at the Camp Nou, Barcelona won 3-0. Messi scored an incredible free kick and they were very close to the final. Liverpool played the second game at their stadium, Anfield, without their stars Salah and Firmino. Many people thought the game was already over. But then the impossible happened. Origi scored in the 89th minute, Trent Alexander-Arnold took a quick corner. The Barcelona defense was static. Origi scored again. The final score was 4-0. Barcelona, we are out. In the dressing room, there was a chaos. Messi was silent. Something was broken. This was the second year in a row that Barcelona lost a huge lead. The team was mentally destroyed. The summer of 2020 was a cataclysm. Because of COVID, the Champions League was a bubble tournament in Lisbon. There was only one game, not two. Barcelona played against Bayern Munich. The final score was Bayern Munich 8, Barcelona 2. It was incredible. In only 90 minutes, Bayern scored 8 goals. Thomas Müller scored 2. Serge Gnabry scored. Philippe Coutinho scored 2. The crazy thing, Coutinho was a Barcelona player. He was only on loan to Bayern. This was the worst defeat in the history of the club. The manager was sacked. The score 8-2 will haunt Barcelona player forever. It was the moment everyone realized the club was in a total crisis. The 2020-21 season had a new manager, Ronald Koeman. It was a stopgap. Barcelona reached the round of 16 and the player against PSG, but it was another bad result. In Paris, PSG won 4-1. Kylian Mbappé was too fast and too strong. In the second game at the Camp Nou, the score was 1-1. Barcelona, we are out. A few months later, in the summer of 2021, something unthinkable happened. Lionel Messi left Barcelona. He didn't want to leave, he wanted to stay. But the club had a financial mismanagement. Messi moved to PSG for free. In that moment, the greatest era in football history officially ended. Without Messi and without money, Barcelona lived a nightmare. In the 2021-22, they're not past the first round of the group stage. For the first time in many years, they had to play in the Europa League. Then they lost against Eintracht Frankfurt and we are eliminated. In the 2022-2023, the story was the same. Again, they finished third in the group stage behind Bayern Munich and Inter Milan. Again, they went to the Europa League. This was a rock bottom. To fix the problem, the president Laporta used economic levers. This means they sold pieces of the club, futures to buy players now. They bought stars like Robert Lewandowski and Rafinha. They wanted to survive the present, but in Europe, the results, we are still bad. 2023-24 season was a bit better. The new manager was Xavi. Barcelona finally passed the group stage in the round of 16. They beat Napoli, the fans, we are happy again. In the quarterfinals, they played against PSG. In the first game in Paris, Barcelona played great and won 3-2. Rafinha scores 2 goals. It was an incredible away results. But in the second game, everything went wrong. PSG won 4-1. The total score was 6-4 for Paris. Barcelona, we are eliminated again. It was another gut punch. The 2024-25 season was very good. There was a new manager, Hansi Flick. Barcelona played exciting football again. They had a new star, Lamine Yamal. He's a teenage sensation. Barcelona reached the semi-finals. Finally, they were close to the top. They played against Inter Milan. The game was very exhausting and very dramatic. The total score after 2 games and extra time was Barcelona 6, Inter Milan 7. Barcelona scored 6 goals, but it was not enough. Inter won by only 1 goal. This was the closest Barcelona had been to the final in many years. Now we are in the season 2025-26. Everyone thought this year is different. Lamine Yamal is now 18 years old. Many people think He is the best player in the world. The team played beautiful and high-intensity football. The fans really believe it, but Simeone, the nightmare, is back. They reached the quarter-final and their opponent, Atletico Madrid, again. The manager was Simeone, again. First game, Atletico won 2-0 in Madrid. They had a perfect defense. And the second game, at the Camp Nou, Barcelona played with all their heart. At the end, Atletico scored a goal. The score of the night was 2-1, but the total score was 3-2 for Atletico. Atletico go to the semi-final, Barcelona go home. Diego Simeone was the first manager to beat them in 2016, and he is here again in 2026. It's now 11 years without the Champions League. Maybe 2026 to 27 is the year, maybe not. But one thing is certain. After this 11 years of wait, will be one of the most emotional moments in history.